and she's down in Brazil. And the way I know Gra is through her mom, who is helping her at the apartment right now. I don't know if Marisa will stick her head in.
I am in Valadares.
You're in Valadares? Oh, that's why your mom was there. Okay, okay.
Então vai lá e fecha para a mamãe e vai lá ficar com a vovó e com a Alice. Traz a Alice aqui. Sorry guys, I am at my mom's house and my niece just arrived here, and Luisa, my second girl, just wanted to tell me that, Mom, Liz is here, come to see her.
So Gra's in the home I stay at whenever I go back to Brazil. Gra's mom is really the person I'm the closest with in Brazil. She was my big sister. And when I was on exchange, Marisa was in college and she was dating a doctor and she ended up marrying him. They had 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And Marisa was a Rotary student to Wisconsin, and she, you know, really believes in youth exchange. So she sent all 3 of her kids to the States. All of them came to Minnesota, and we were lucky to have Gra as, you know, a daughter, as someone in the house. And so many people on this call, you know, remember Gra from holidays and all the stuff we did, and just such great memories. And Gra was a fantastic exchange student. So Gra, I don't want to take away your story. I don't know what you want to tell us today. It's been about 20 years since you were on exchange, and yes. You're all grown up. So tell us what's happening.
I'll do my best not to don't have so many tears in my eyes and my face. For me, I'm so surprised to see Bob and Joey and Trish. I'm sorry. And Ruby, I'm so happy to see all of you, even it's through a cell phone. Well, as Present said, my exchange student story started even before I was born, because my whole family, my grandparents, my uncles, aunts, and my mom, all of them were exchange students. So my brother was the first one, my oldest brother was the first one to go, and then my second brother, and I wanted to be an exchange student. But my dad said that I couldn't go. And then I said, Dad, please let me go. And Christine started to talk to him. And then he said, she will come to my house if you agree. And then everything started to work. Then in 1996, I was 15. And here in Brazil, we don't celebrate the 16th. We celebrate the 15th. And Christine came with the whole family. We call her Chris. So I'll call her Chris. And Chris came with Ruby. She was 2 years old. And Max was 4. And Tim. And we spent a couple of times together. And then my dad decided, okay, I will think about it. And then in 1997, when I had to apply, I think, he said, okay, if you go to Christine's house, I will let you go. So that's what happened. And in 1998, I went to Minneapolis. I went to Edina. And I remember the exact day how it was, because I was with my friend Luigi. And Luigi cried so much on the plane. And I told her, what's going on? It's freedom. We are going to the United States. For a year, without our parents, without brothers, no one's gonna bother us. Stop crying. And when I got there, Graziele was waiting for me at the airport with the whole family. And then I had a little bit of scare. I was a little bit scared. And then I understood why Luigi was crying so much. And then the time went by. I went to Edina High School to see how the school was, to meet the, forgot the, I'm sorry. Chris, help me with the English. How do you say the principal of school? I'm sorry. I met the principal, but I didn't know anyone. And then the school started, and we have some exchange students. I met a Brazilian one, Bernardo, Crisan, and I think Trish will remember him. And then we started to be friends, and I started to meet some new people at school. But one thing that I wasn't very happy of is because the Americans didn't talk to me too much. My friends were only the exchange students. And one day, one of the girls invited me for a party, but I had a terrible headache that day. I always had headaches, and I couldn't go. And she never invited me again. Remember that, Chris? No, maybe not. And then I thought, what happened? Why they don't talk to me? Why Edina's students don't speak with the exchange students? And all of them had the same thoughts that I had. So we decided that we could be friends. We didn't need the American ones. And then I found out that Edina kids, they grow up together since the kindergarten. So for them, it was also hard to make friends with someone else outside of their group. And I respected that. And I think I still have some contacts from school. I have 2 kids that I still talk through the Facebook. And that's how I found out that, because after so many years, we talked about that. And then she said, Gra, for us, it's so hard to make friends with people outside of our life that didn't grow up with us. So I remember that when I spoke on one of my speeches for Rotary Club, I said that what someone asked me what I have learned on my year, and I said, I learned that someone is set right in your side could be your best friend one day, and you didn't have a chance to talk, you didn't have a chance to cry with her or with them, and that was hard. But this marked my life, but it wasn't that important because I had a great family. I had a great host family, 2 beautiful host moms. And I have them for my life. I have my brothers and sisters, my brothers, my sister, and I have, I'm sorry, all of them opened the door and got in the room. And I know that I have all of you for the rest of my life. So for me, a school was not that important. What I bring from the exchange student year that I had is my family. even the Manolis family, and if the Urias family. I had very special moments with them. And I was taking a look at some of the pictures, and my heart my mind went back to 1998 and 1999, 22 years ago, I think. And this made me happy. When I came back from Minnesota, I think 1 year later, I was here in Brazil. I went to international business school. And then in July of 2000, I spent about a month with Trish and Graziele. And I still have you with me, even if we don't talk much. I'm always talking with Chris, even because of my mom. And Trish, sometimes I get her on WhatsApp. She's not very good on that, right, Mama? And I wanted to show you some pictures of my ear. I'll try to share with you. Let's see if I
Hey, Kirk, I think you might have to allow Gra to share.
You should be able to.
Okay, thank you.
I'll try. Joey, let's see. It's not allowing me. So when I came back I went to school, I had my graduation party, and Chrisanne and Trish came for my graduation. That was so awesome. And then when I got married, Chrisanne came for my wedding. I have pictures of that. Can you see the pictures?
No. Kirk, does she have the controls?
She does have the ability to share her screen. I don't know if I don't know what she's trying to share.
Yeah, she's going to pull up some photos.
It's a PowerPoint, a PPT.
You know, is it possible to email the PowerPoint to Chrisanne or to me, and maybe we can display it?
Yes.
Let's do that.
I'll send through my Vali's email, okay?
Yeah, you're going to send it to what, AOL or G?
I don't know. You can choose.
Send it to any email of mine.
Welcome to the late arrivals. Max, nice to see your face. Georgia, thank you so much for joining. And extra person, Jay, I don't know your name. Januscu.
You know what? That's my brother. So, Gra, when you get a chance, Philip's on here, Max is on here, and my mom's on here, though I don't see her face. She doesn't have her camera on.
Okay, I sent the email on AOL.
Okay, thanks.
And Gra, can you turn your video back on?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. So I came back. I'm not seeing Max. I see Ruby.
Maxie, say
What's your
something so
brother's
that,
name?
because it might be on the spotlight view.
Max.
We don't hear you, Maxie.
You able to hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, there we go.
There we go.
It's muting on the headphones. Howdy, folks. What's going on?
Hey, Max, welcome.
Hey there. Great to see
Max.
everyone. Meow.
That's
Mwah.
Max.
Yeah, I don't have. I should have worn some of my shirts that I
Oh,
have.
Max.
We're all the way from way back in the day, all with Portuguese on them. I think I still have the "I'm going to invade your beach" shirt, the with the whale on it. I think I still got that one.
Paulette, welcome. Nice to see you. You're on mute.
Thank you. Good to see you too, John. Hello, Greg.
So I came back and then I went to International Business School and I graduated. Christiane and Trish came for my graduation. And then I got married in 2011. Now I have 3 little kids, 3 little girls. Julia is the oldest one. She's 7 years old. Luisa is 3 years old. And Clara is 1. No, she just became 2. And I got married with Fernando there. I work at a mining company. I'm sure you have heard about it. It's called Valley. And I've been working there for 10 years. And I started to work there with international business. And then my area was transferred all to Rio de Janeiro, and I didn't want to go because my life now is in Belo Horizonte. It's the capital of my state. And so I went to another area. I was a buyer in procurement. I work with a procurement. And now I still at procurement, but now I work with the with Valley suppliers. I love what I do, but I love my family more than my work, for sure. And this is my life now. I live about 300 kilometers from my whole family. My family is still in Governador Valadares, where Christiane was an exchange student. I have 2 brothers. Thank God I still have my parents. And I have 3 nieces. We just have girls in my house. 4 daddies. And this is my life today. And I want to show you a little bit of my year and of my family. So this is the Manolis. Max and Ruby were so little. We had so much fun. We love to sing, right, Ruby? We love to dance together.
Oh, yeah.
I still love doing that. And for some reason, I don't know why, my girls, all of them, the 3 of them, love to dance, love to sing. Julia, the oldest one, sing all day long. And we are always dancing together, you know? We are always doing Spice Girl things. And you can go to the next one. This is Yuri's family and Joey. That was the best hug you gave me. And he didn't like too many kisses, he didn't like too many hugs, but for somehow we got connected. And I remember the day before I left, I was packing, and Joey was so quiet that day. And he came to my room and he gave me a paper. It was a letter. And he gave me a big hug and said, Gra, please don't go, stay with us. And we also had so many good times together. And I was talking to Graziele a little bit earlier. And when I was looking at those pictures, I started thinking that, oh God, are we gonna be together again? Are you gonna visit me in Brazil? Am I gonna have a chance to go to Minneapolis and now to Denver to see all of them again? Zen is always coming, so I know I'm gonna see her very often, but I don't know about the other ones. And I really wish that I could stay with all of you guys again.
You come back anytime and bring everybody. We know we would love, love, love it.
I know, but the family is very big.
I know, you're very big now, but it's so awesome.
A lot of kids. And you can go ahead a little bit, one more. And that's when my mom went for my graduation. And I wasn't expecting her. And Trish, one day she decided to make some cheesecake. And this is my mom's favorite dessert. And she said, no, I'm making some cheesecake for someone. I can't remember who she said that day. And I said, okay, can I have just one for us? No, no, you can't. And then the next day, someone was on the door. Trish wasn't at home, but Colleen was. Can you see her? The back there, Trish? And she said, Gra, go get the door. I said, okay, I'll get the door. And that was my mom and my Aunt Leia. And I just sat on the floor and started crying. I didn't have any other reaction. So that was the day when my mom and my aunt went to Minneapolis to Edina for my graduation. So this is one of the few pictures that I have with the three of them. So these are my mothers. Next one, please. I remember that day, that was Bernardo's birthday, and all of the exchange students were together. I'm still in touch with the guys. Ricardo, he is from Dominican Republic, and Bernardo also lives in Belo Horizonte. Bernardo is the one with the blue t-shirt, and I met him like a couple years ago. He's also married. He is on the politicians in Belo Horizonte. And I remember that day, it was very fun. We spent all day long with them and having fun. Next one, please. So this is my big family. This was Luisa's birthday at my mom's house when she was 3. I'll try from the right to the left. The first one is my brother Fabiano, and Liz is his own child. In the white shirt, this is Laura, my sister-in-law. With the Mickey shirt is Fernando, my husband, with Luisa, and Julia, my oldest one. That's me looking at Julia for some reason. Clara is on my lap. That's my dad. And the little blonde girl is Melissa, my niece. Tatazinho, the oldest one. Dani is my sister-in-law. And this is Thais. And both of them are Tatazinhos and Dani daughters. And this is my mom. It's a big family. That's something that I always want to have, a big family. Next one, please. So that's me on my wedding, having a big party. Next one. And my best friends for life. This is my family. This is Fernando, my 3 kids. And I think we have one more. These are my girls, Julia, Clara, and Luisa. And I really hope that they also will be an exchange students. I don't know how, I don't know where, but I really want them to have the same experience that I had. And I still can say that it was one of the best years of my youth when I was an exchange student. That's it.
Yeah, if everyone can take themselves off of mute, round of applause.
Unmute.
It's so
Yay!
hard for me to speak. I'm so outgoing, but when I have to speak to someone, for me, it's very hard. And I'm very emotive because I haven't seen Joey like since I came back. Also Ruby and Max. I have to breathe.
I know it's a lot. It's a lot. Everyone on this call understands that.
Sorry for the tears.
No, not at all.
They're so good.
So many of us were exchange
My
students.
English is not as good as it was supposed to be. Sorry. And see Joey, Ruby, and Max, so grown up. They were
What happens?
So little.
The way this all came together too, I don't know, Trish, if you remember, but I was chair of the North Star program, and I was promoting youth exchange to Rotary clubs that were not hosting. And I happened to speak at Trish's Rotary Club, and I didn't know Trish at all. But I did a presentation on youth exchange, hoping that your president would say, oh yeah, we're gonna take an exchange student. Well, when I went to sit down, you came up to me and you went, you know, I don't live in the area of this club. I live in Edina. I think if I talk to my husband, we'd like to host. I mean, I don't know how we go about that. And we had recently accepted, you know, we did all the paperwork to have Gra come stay with us. So I said, well, Trish, you know what? I mean, I live in Edina too. You want to co-parent a Brazilian? And she was like, well, let me go ask, ask my husband. And so, that's how we became co-parents. And it just was the best, how everything fell in place. Gra got along with both of our families so, so beautifully. She just fit in. It was like a dream, really. Wasn't it, Trish? It was just so easy to host her.
The other gift was
becoming friends with your family as well, Chris Ann. It was a really wonderful experience for Bob and I. The way I remember it, and he might not remember it this way. He was like, I don't know, Trish, you know, have somebody
Yeah.
with us. And I'm like, come on, honey, come on, we can do this. And then after
it all works out.
yeah, and he was like, okay, where do we sign up for the next? But it was never a repeat. Like, it was such a letdown. We had a lovely, lovely young woman from France. We loved her. We haven't stayed in touch with her. I think that is our fault. And then we had kind of a bad experience as well. But you know, it was. I know I can speak for Joe, and maybe Joe, you want to chime in. The other exchange students just were not great.
Miss you so much.
Oh, miss you.
And I love when the Papi said, fresh, something like that, fresh. And I miss so much the, let me think, loose vegetables and soft meat.
What's that?
That's right.
That's short ribs, but that's what we call it because Joe called it that.
It was horrible. That's why I called it that. It probably still is horrible. I have to eat it in 2 years. Thank
I
God.
loved it. I loved it. It was my favorite.
We remember pão de queijo and feijoada, and the only vegetable, rice and beans. The only vegetable I could get Gra to eat was okra. And I tried to stuff vegetables into her because I think she was having a little bit of a constipation problem and from the American diet. And I'm not sure if it worked, but she and Luigi would laugh because they would see green in the toilet after we had fed them vegetables. Do you remember that?
Put the green kids to swim.
You know, there's a question from the group. What do Max, Ruby, and Joey remember about hosting Gra, or just memories of having her in the house?
I mean, I remember a lot of big hugs.
And
I remember
kisses.
a lot.
I love to kiss your cheeks.
I remember a lot of that.
I remember the singing, the dancing, the Spice Girls, and I remember you taught me the Macarena.
Yeah.
I remember learning that. I think that was when I was really little in Brazil. I have a memory of that there. And I remember the brigadeiros. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
so
right.
good.
That's a little chocolate dessert that Gra would make.
I remember just having her around and as part of the family was so great because I'm an only child, and having, you know, a sister around really changed the dynamic, and it was just an unbelievably great year.
It was.
And he cheated me and I cheated him all the time.
Yeah, and Gra gave me the best nickname I've ever had. Do you remember what you always call me?
Mommy Salami.
Yeah.
Mommy salami.
Mommy, what? I didn't get it.
Mommy Salami.
Oh.
That stayed around the house for a while. There used to be like notes where it would be for mom, it would be NS for Mommy Salami. So that stuck for a long time, Gra.
Yeah, it was Mommy Salami and Mama Trish.
Yep.
And both of them were my puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grass, what did you think of the snow and the cold in Minnesota?
It wasn't a very cold year.
You're lucky.
Yeah, and I was afraid of that because when my brother was went to Minnesota, I think he had like 10 degrees, 10 degrees, like something like that, 20 degrees. And we didn't have that year. And we didn't even had any day out of school because of snow. I was so sad about that.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
But it wasn't that cold.
Good. Did you do any sports or activities at school?
No, I'm not a sport fan. I was a dancer fan, and I remember that I had some ballet classes, but outside of school.
Okay. Great.
But then I don't remember why I had to quit.
You had a pain with your foot or something. There was something happening to your foot.
Yes. I had a problem with my foot. I still have, so I had to quit dancing here in Brazil. But I decided to go back when I was in Edina. But then I really had to quit everything. And I still don't like sports.
That's okay.
I went back to swimming a couple months ago. I'm trying to do something. Yes, I'm still in touch with Luigi, Mama. Not very often, but we still are in touch.
You two were like peas in a pod. You never went anywhere without the other.
Yeah, and when she moved out of Valadares and went to Bahia, we are not that close anymore, but we are still in touch.
Yeah, she's a
So
good.
who are you guys? Can I ask questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mama Trish and Papi, are you still in Edina, Minneapolis, or where are you?
No,
Are you in Florida?
We're in Florida. We sold our Edina house 3 years ago, and we moved downtown Minneapolis to this area that's called the North Loop. And then I sold my practice about that time, and I took another job for a nonprofit in Chicago. I actually ran into Chris Ann pretty close to our house in Minneapolis, and I said, "What are you doing in my hood?" And she said, "This is where I live." So we in Minneapolis, before she moved to Colorado, we lived about a mile apart, probably less than a mile.
Less than. That was the weirdest thing. I was at one of the outdoor cafes on Main Street, and all of a sudden, I just saw this lady with white hair walking. It was like, wait, it was like, that was just the weirdest encounter, Trish. It was so wonderful because then we got together a few times before I moved here.
Yeah. And I tried to sell your condo for you, but that fell through.
That's all right.
So then, and with my new job, and now with COVID, my new job is I travel a lot, but not with COVID. So I'm working entirely from home. So we came down to Florida early this year instead of just we've been down a couple of weeks. Pappy's retired. He does all the cooking like he always did.
That's right.
Eating soft vegetables or loose vegetables and soft meat.
We have
something like that.
We have that from time to time still. Loose vegetables and soft meat. Do you remember we also ate a lot of flat chicken? Does that ring a bell? It's where he would pound out the chicken so it was really flat, and then he'd put it in egg wash and flour and then breadcrumbs.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it was like a chicken McNugget. That was flat chicken. We had that a lot.
I remember that. I learned how to cook, and I'm doing a lot of cooking in my house.
I bet you're a good cook. You were always a good baker.
But I always have a glass of wine with me. And I learned that from someone.
Would you mean him?
Ah,
That's good. It's the most important thing to learn first.
I'm trying to show you a picture, okay? Let me see if... Ruby, can you see? Ruby, can you see this picture?
We'll lift it up a little.
Oh, let me. Ruby, can you see this?
Yes, I think that's the exact same picture I have.
On the shirt. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna show you a picture. For me, this is the best picture I have of you.
Oh. Oh.
Let's see, what was it, Sam?
Well, that might have happened a few times.
Does anyone else have any questions? Just feel free to take yourself off of mute.
Gra, thank you so much for speaking. One thing that I remember about you when you were here, Chrisanne has 4 siblings and all of us had kids. And when we would get together, you were so great because you had 11 kids on you, all this, all around the same ages. And you were so patient and fun, and you just let them, hang on you, and just, you just were so great with them, with the kids. That's just a fond memory that I have of you. And then also you just became part of the family. And it was hard when you left. You'll always be in our hearts.
Thank you.
It's really good to see you.
Good to see you too. And can I show one picture of Max?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Sweet.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper right there. Look at that.
He didn't like to kiss me. He didn't like kisses and hugs.
But you got the photo evidence to keep it. You know, forever.
I
Whatever.
forgot that you went to Hawaii with the Manolis family.
Yes, we did.
And
I also have a good picture.
Gra, when did you move in with us? Do you remember when you moved? Was it after Christmas then?
No, because we moved the week of Thanksgiving. It was earlier than that, Trish.
When they went to Arnold, I moved to your house.
Yeah.
I think I know it was maybe November.
It was like this week. I mean, it was the week of Thanksgiving is when we moved. So, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was very brave of you.
Why?
Well, because you didn't know us, and because you had promised your father that you would live with Chrisanne.
But not for the whole year. I just had to go to Chrisanne's at first. Oh, Ruby, I'm trying to find one picture of us dancing the hula hula.
Hey, while you're looking for the picture, Kirk did tell me that we can stay on later. Our meeting ends in a few minutes, but those of us family members, Trish, Joey, you guys stick around and we can talk to Gra off of the camera. You know, I mean, you'll just be on the screen together. So John, whenever you want to
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, what a great meeting. And Graz, thank you so much for speaking today. And yeah, non-family members, I guess we'll exit. Kirk, if you can reassign the meeting to Chrisanne, and you guys just feel free to stay on as long as you want. And we'll even, out of privacy, kill the Facebook feed for you. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Chris, for inviting me. It was so good to see all of you. I haven't seen most of you like for 22 years. And the kids, you're all grown up. You all have your own family now. And Joey is already a daddy. I'm waiting for Ruby and Max. This is the best thing of life, is having kids. Go for it.
I'll live vicariously through my sister and through Joey and through so many other wonderful folks who have set a great example.
That's so true. Well, Gra, why don't you stay here, Gra, because then, you know, the Uras and the Manolases, we can all talk to you. My sister Steph's here, Philip's here, Paulette's here, my mom's here, Sam's here.